Hey, John Hickok here. Today we're going to take a look at the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 and 45 ACP, and it's a pretty nice gun. We're going to shoot it some, kind of point out some of the features. Of course, the M&P 2.0 being the updated version of the regular polymer Smith & Wesson M&P that you guys are so familiar with and have been around since around 2005. So I'm getting into some of that, and let's do it. All right. Always good to start by shooting. I like to start on the stop sign. It's becoming my thing. All right. So the M&P 45 ACP 2.0. As you can see, I'm not lying about the caliber. Look at these massive cartridges, bullets that we've got in there. 45 ACP. First, before I slobber over the caliber a little bit, I want to remind you. So 45 ACP, this is a 45 ACP polymer handgun. And there are a lot of people out there who love the 45. They love that caliber. I'm one of them, but I'm kind of a hybrid 45 enthusiast. I just made that term up. I don't know if it applies. We'll see. Because I love the 45. It's one of my favorite calibers, but for carry, I prefer 9 because I like the smaller guns, and I think 9 is good enough if you have good carry ammo. And some people even argue that 9 can perform better sometimes than 45 ACP, and those people should be careful saying that, because if 45 ACP fans, they can be a little bit rowdy. But I'm with you guys, because I love the 45, and so if you like the 45, you're always interested in some type of firearm that is something that you could carry, or just to be a fun shooter that's chambered in that round. So with this, with the 2.0, you get a few kind of feature upgrades. It's a little bit lighter. It's a couple ounces lighter. You have a slightly thinner slide profile, which is of course what takes some of the weight out as well. You have a little bit better, a little more texture on the grip. Different backstrap options. I have the what's called the large to medium, or medium to large, something like that, in right now, which is the one I prefer after trying all the different ones. But as you can see here, we've got different ones. 2 of them have beaver tails on them. They got the medium and the small and the large. So mine is kind of in between, of course, the medium and the large. You guys know how that works. It's called medium large, but it has the beaver tail, and I kind of like how that feels. I mean, I don't know, it's not really a true beaver tail. I mean, it's kind of down below where, but it sort of becomes part of the beaver tail, I guess would be a more accurate way to explain that. So if you're a guy who likes 45 ACP, one of the possible advantages of this, if you're a real M&P guy, would be having the slightly smaller slide. So if you're trying to carry it, it would be a little bit easier to carry, but still a big gun at the end of the day. With some magazines up here. Like I said, still a big gun. It's a little smaller than the other one, than the original, which here's one. This was in 40 though, so it's not exactly the perfect comparison, but compared to this Glock 21, now here's where I would have kind of a problem, an issue with this pistol, is the capacity. The magazines only hold 10 rounds. Now it is a smaller gun in a lot of ways than the 21. The 21 is just a little chunkier, a little bigger, but not a lot. I don't think it's bigger enough to justify, the drop down to 10 rounds in the magazine instead of 13. That's just my opinion. But if you're a diehard M&P guy, then there's definitely some advantages to this over the standard M&P. The trigger, something that they've approved, at least I've read that they have. The triggers for me, they tend to vary. Depending on which handgun you happen to pick up. I think with striker fired, it's kind of like the nature of the thing. With striker fired handguns, they tend to be a little bit inconsistent. I think more so with some brands than others, like Glock, for example. So I don't know. I don't notice a huge difference in the trigger. Not that the trigger is bad on this one or the old one. It's just kind of a, you know, decent striker fired trigger. You know, it just depends on what you prefer. I'm used to the Glock trigger because Dad had me drinking the Glock Kool-Aid from a very young age, of course. So that's what I'm used to. I like the Glock trigger. I don't think the M&P trigger is necessarily better or worse than a good Glock trigger. It's just kind of a personal preference thing. I know some people really prefer the M&P way of doing things on the trigger, and if you are one of those people, I think you'll be happy with the trigger on these things. It's fairly crisp, you know, for a striker fired trigger, of course. But again, that 10 round capacity is something I'm not a fan of. I mean, I guess, you know, to get that slightly smaller profile, little thinner grip, which I've always felt like on the M&Ps, the grip is almost a little bit too thin. You know, they talk about the 1911 style grip angle with these, and yeah, it's closer to the 1911 than the Glock, of course. Just like Dad's complained about for years, I'm in the same boat. This hump right here really annoys me on those things. But it doesn't feel bad. It feels pretty good. In some ways, I would have to say it probably feels better than a Glock to me, but I still shoot a Glock better, which again, I have more experience with them. So that's a big part of that. Okay, let's take out some of these 2 liters. Let's start with this pot up here. This guy's got this 2 liter is a pothead. Oh, look at that. Wasn't that a great joke? All right. All right, let's take out let's go for the long ones here, the orange one first. All right, let's go and take the last one. Why not? There's a spray can right there. Oh, there's a red one. Look at that. It blended in. I didn't see it. Okay, let's get the spray can now. All right. Pretty awful group there, but that's okay. That happens sometimes. Okay, let's load up some more, and then we'll try some over there at long range, which, based on the paper target, should be a breeze. Shouldn't be any problem whatsoever. But you know, it's a good shooter. Again, you know, like we try to remind you guys in these videos, you know, it's a big deal to us to stay unbiased about these firearms, and you know, we've gone through all that explanation a million times. But there's tons of personal bias. You know, there's tons of things that might make me or Dad prefer one handgun over another. That's just a strictly personal thing, like the fact that I have shot mostly Glocks growing up. I'm just used to how they feel and the way they operate. So I'm always going to, you know, want to, just like Dad, I'm always going to want to kind of compare things to those because of that. And I feel like I shoot Glocks better than any other polymer handgun. So you know, I like to be honest about these kinds of things, just so you know that if I come out here and I'm talking about how, you know, I like this or like that, but I still shoot the Glock better, doesn't mean that will be your experience. You very well might pick this up and shoot it a lot better than the Glock. So I just want to be honest about that kind of stuff, where I'm coming from with that. But you know, these M&Ps are nice shooters, and for the most part, from what I understand, they have a pretty good reputation for being very reliable and durable. I know it's a lot of police departments that use them, and they're very well respected. Very popular, especially the Shield. Those things, man. I don't know anybody that doesn't have one of those, except for me. I guess I don't have one. All right, let's shoot some more. All right, let's go ahead and try the Gong. It's 45 ACP, so I'm gonna need to hold up just a little bit higher. Near the top of it, probably. Can see where it's going now. Okay, I see. I'm pulling it to the left. Yeah, pulling it to the left really bad. Let me see if I can get it reined in. That's something that happens to me occasionally. I'll take a shot at a target out there and I'll nail the first one. Think, oh, okay, cool, got it zeroed in. Nope, no you don't. Okay, take my time. Get a good, clean trigger break. All right, try another one. Okay, so it's just me. The gun will do it, of course. Let's go ahead and get this watermelon. It's taunting me. All right, have to get him a few more times. I'll load these 2 more mags, and we'll wrap it up. But yeah. So do you guys have any questions about it at this point? Nothing? Okay. Let's see. Let me try to assume some questions that you might have. Is the mag release metal or plastic? That's a great question. The mag release is metal on the 2.0, whereas on the original it is plastic. Does that matter? I'm not sure. I couldn't really tell you that, to be honest. It probably adds a little bit of weight, but probably not much. And I don't know. There's something that feels better about a part being metal. Like, oh yeah, this is another thing. Just like I believe, yeah, the original ones have metal sights. It's a big complaint about Glocks having. Of course, this one's got aftermarket sights, but you know they come with steel sights. That's a big deal to a lot of people, and probably for good reason. I mean, they're more solid. You know, if you drop this thing, it's a lot less likely to knock your sights off, and all that kind of thing. Because with Glocks, you tend to have to replace them. Well, you don't have to unless you're putting them through some hard use. That's not what I mean. I just mean a lot of times people want to put night sights on them anyways, and that's one of the things that kind of convinces people to do it because of those plastic sights. But as far as the sight picture itself, I like the Glock sight picture, but it is nice that these come with steel sights. That's what I'm trying to say. Another thing too, I was reading some stuff. All right, I kind of overdid it with that magazine. I was reading some stuff about this thing, and something that I see a lot when I'm reading about guns and occasionally watching YouTube videos is people talk about the audible reset. It's a big thing. It has a nice audible reset. I don't understand how that's really an advantage. I get that maybe that's a way of saying that it has a very prominent reset. But when you get comfortable with a firearm, you're just going to kind of know where that reset is. You're not really going to need that. But I don't know. I've always thought that was kind of a silly thing to say about a firearm. I mean, you can just say it has a strong reset. You don't have to say that it's audible, like it matters how loud it is. Okay. Let's put some more on this watermelon. Alright, he's down for the count. We got a pot over here. Got another pot. Some cans. Oh man, they about got me. Alright, don't know if I actually hit him or just scared him off. Let's shoot some more close stuff. One thing I've noticed, this is kind of just like a weird random tidbit, because I've been shooting a lot of years, of course, basically my whole life, from 3 on, and I've noticed that firing, especially pistol calibers, based on the humidity and the time of day and kind of like the barometric pressure, is that right? I'm not a scientist. You can tell a difference in the way that the report, that the sound from the pistol is. It's kind of interesting. Like right now, the setting is just right to where it sounds kind of different than it normally does. I don't know if it comes through on camera or not, but anyways. Okay, let's put this last magazine. I'm going to torture myself and even though I'm not shooting this pistol very well. I'm going to try to hit some stuff over there. I'm going to see if I can put a 45 on that ram, the ram that's directly underneath the gong. All right, it may not knock him over, but yeah, I think just over his head, just under his chest, I think. Got him. Look at that. All right, I'll consider that a win after my sloppy shooting earlier. Okay, let's just empty it on the tombstone. Empty it at the tombstone. Okay, so there you have it, the M&P 2.0. If you're an M&P guy, I feel like you'll probably be happy with the improvements. Just to kind of run back over the big ones again. They did some stuff with the trigger. We've got a metal magazine release. They added some texture to the grip, much more aggressive texture around the grip, taking a little bit of weight off of it. Slides a little bit thinner. So if you like the other one, then I don't see why you wouldn't like this one. But I also think, if I'm just being I'm attempting to be as objective as possible, again, my own personal biases. If I was getting a 45 polymer pistol, I wouldn't be very happy about this, the 10 round capacity. To me, there's so many double stack 45 caliber options out there that give you more magazine capacity, whether it's a Glock or an XD or or FN or whatever, and they're all different sizes, of course. And this one's pretty small for what it is. But that's kind of my thing. And for some reason I've never felt like I shot M&Ps great because of the grip being a little thin or something about it. But they're very nice pistols, and it's definitely it's one of the better polymer pistols, and you couldn't do too wrong with it. But all right, well, there you go. Hope that gives you some idea of what you might be interested in about this pistol. And I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to go to bunkerbranding.com, our new shirts over there, and hickok45.com, and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later. Always wanted to do that. Okay, since you guys are here at the end of the video, I want to remind you of our friends over at SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. They're a fully accredited online distance learning program where you become certified in gunsmithing or get an associate's degree in firearms technology. It's sdi.edu. And also, big announcement lately on the channel, our shirts are now with Matt from Demolition Ranch's new company, Bunker Branding. So you can find shirts like this and many others over at bunkerbranding.com/hickok45, or just go into the description and look for the link. And also you can go to our website and find that stuff and more things like Hickok, or our website is called hickok45.com. And you can also find our Twitter, which is Hickok45, Facebook Hickok45, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a Hickok45 and Son YouTube channel. There's a John_Hickok45 Instagram. Our videos are also on full30.com. And also, those of you who have been asking us to become a Patreon member, you can also find the link to that in the description. And we appreciate all those people, of course. And basically anything that you need to know is probably going to be on the website somewhere. So we try to keep it easy for you guys. There's no excuses, because we know you're already on the internet. If you're looking at this, you're probably on the internet. So all you got to do is open your browser, and if you're on your TV, I know you got a phone in your pocket. So no excuses. All right. Okay, now what you should do is watch one of these other videos, as long as it's one of ours, because everything else is not good, of course. All right, thank you.